Have you ever looked in the mirror and wondered where it all began? Not just your own life, but the whole grand, messy story of humanity. We are told a scientific story, a story of primates, of evolution, of survival of the fittest. Charles Darwin gave us a powerful framework. He suggested we share a common ancestor with apes. But this idea often gets twisted into a simple, linear ladder. We were monkeys, and then, poof, we became humans who worry about Wi-Fi signals and what to post online. It's a compelling story, but it leaves us with some playful, nagging questions. If we evolved from monkeys, why are there still monkeys happily swinging from trees, completely unconcerned with their quarterly reports or social media followers? This question, while a bit cheeky, points to a deeper curiosity. It highlights the gaps in a purely biological narrative of our existence. The scientific model is brilliant at explaining the how of our physical bodies. It traces our journey from single-celled organisms to complex beings. Yet, it doesn't fully satisfy our quest for the why. Why do we feel love? Why do we create art? Why do we yearn for meaning? Why do we crave connection? Why want something more than just survival? The story of evolution feels incomplete if it only accounts for our bodies and not our hearts, our minds, our spirits. It's like describing a magnificent temple by only listing the bricks and mortar, ignoring its sanctity and purpose. Perhaps the idea of evolution is not just a straight line from a hunched-over ape to an upright human. Maybe it's not just about stronger thumbs or bigger brains. What if evolution is also happening on planes we cannot see? What if our emotions, our psychology, our consciousness are also evolving? This isn't to dismiss science. It is to enrich it, to add layers to the story, to see our journey not just as a physical process, but as a spiritual one, an unfolding of potential that has been dormant within the fabric of life since the very beginning. We are not just getting more complex physically, we are becoming more aware. This brings us to a different way of seeing things, a perspective from a land that has pondered these questions for millennia. In the vast ocean of Indian thought, there is a powerful idea that complements, rather than contradicts, the scientific view. It is the concept of the Dashavatara, the 10 principal avatars of Vishnu. Vishnu is the preserver, the sustainer of cosmic order, Dharma. Whenever this order is threatened, chaos overwhelms the world, ignorance overwhelms the world, Vishnu descends. He takes a form, an avatar suited to that era. These avatars are not random interventions. Arrange them in sequence and a pattern emerges. It looks like a map of evolution, life, society, consciousness. This is not Western scientific theory. It was not developed in a laboratory, microscopes, carbon dating, rather revealed through introspection, meditation, storytelling. A philosophical model, a mythic framework, giving meaning to biological process. It suggests evolution guided by a divine intelligence, not blind chance, a purposeful unfolding. Each avatar marks a crucial stage, a leap forward, not just physical form, capacity for awareness, for relationship, for understanding one's place in the cosmos. Biology and spirituality dance together. The Dashavatara model is holistic. Darwin explains evolution of species. Dashavatara explains evolution of life in all dimensions. It starts in the water, moves to the land, progresses from animal forms to human forms, then evolves within humanity. Psychological structures, social structures. From the wild man in the forest to the builder of civilizations, from the righteous king to the enlightened sage. The story doesn't end with Homo sapiens. It continues with the evolution of human consciousness, where the real journey begins for each of us. Place the two stories side by side. On one side, the scientific story, physical adaptation, natural selection. On the other, the mythic story, divine descents, gradual awakening of consciousness. One explains the vessel, one explains the content within the vessel. One is the hardware, the other is the software. Together they give a richer, more complete picture. Not just successful genes, we are participants in a grand cosmic play of remembering who we truly are. The story begins in the water. The first avatar of Vishnu is Matsya, the fish. In a world-ending flood, Vishnu becomes a giant fish to save the seeds of life and sacred wisdom. This echoes science. Life began in primordial oceans. The fish, First vertebrates, fully aquatic. Matsya, Chuck's instinct, survival. Lesson: life must first exist before thought or emotion. From the water, life moves toward land. Second avatar, Kurma, the giant tortoise. Kurma, amphibious, lives in water and on land. During the cosmic churning, Kurma supports the mountain on his shell. The tortoise, man on stability, endurance, and transition. It carries the weight of the world. Stage, building a foundation, slow emergence from the depths. Next, life fully emerges, still wild and primal. Third avatar, Varaha, the wild boar. A demon drags the earth goddess underwater. Varaha dives, fights, and lifts earth on his tusks. The boar, Sai, powerful terrestrial mammal. Fierce, determined, connected to the earth. Varaha, life established on solid ground. This stage, raw strength and courage. Aquatic life, amphibious life, terrestrial life. Animal forms, instinct, survival, raw power. Primal consciousness, immediate needs of body and environment. Foundational phase of life's great journey. The body is perfected before the mind can truly awaken. The evolutionary journey takes a dramatic turn with the fourth avatar. Life is now ready to cross the threshold from animal to human. But this transition is not immediate or clean. It is a hybrid state. The fourth avatar is Narasimha, the man-lion. He is neither fully beast nor fully human. This form was necessary to defeat a demon king who had obtained a boon, that he could not be killed by man or beast, not killed indoors or outdoors, not killed during the day or at night. Narasimha, with the head of a lion and the body of a man, appears at twilight, on the threshold of a doorway, and destroys the demon. He represents the transitional phase, the missing link between animal instinct and human intelligence. Narasimha is a being of immense ferocity and righteous anger, but his violence is purposeful. It is directed at restoring balance and protecting the devoted. This stage signifies the emergence of a more complex emotional landscape. It is not just the raw survival instinct of the boar, it is a protective instinct, a glimmer of loyalty and justice. This half-man, half-beast form perfectly captures the state of early humanity, still deeply connected to our primal animal nature, yet with the burgeoning light of self-awareness, a moral compass beginning to flicker to life. The fifth avatar marks the arrival of the first fully human form, but it is a diminutive one. Vamana, the dwarf Brahmin. He appears during the reign of a benevolent but ambitious demon king. Vamana asks for just 3 paces of land as a donation. The king, amused, grants the request. Vamana then expands into a cosmic form. With his first step, he covers the entire earth. With his second, he covers the heavens. For the third step, the humbled king offers his own head. Vamana represents the power of intelligence over brute strength. Vamana is small in stature but vast in potential. This signifies the shift from physical prowess to intellectual and strategic capacity. Early humans were not the strongest or fastest creatures. Our advantage was our mind. This stage represents the development of the human mind. Think, plan, use language, understand abstract concepts. We are no longer defined by our muscles, like the boar or the lion, but by the immensity of our inner world. We have become the strategic species. Having established the power of the human intellect with Vamana, the journey of consciousness now turns towards taming the wilder aspects of human nature. The sixth avatar is Parashurama, the warrior sage with an axe. He is a Brahmin. He is a man of knowledge. He wields the axe of a Kshatriya, a warrior. He represents a time of great social conflict. Born to a world where the warrior class had become arrogant and tyrannical, Parashurama takes up his axe to restore order, a force of nature unleashed to clear the forest of corruption, the necessary, albeit painful pruning that allows for healthier growth. After the clearing comes the building. After the rage of Parashurama comes the calm, composed presence of the seventh avatar, Rama. Rama is the ideal king, the perfect man, the embodiment of Dharma in action. The Ramayana is not about acquiring power, but about upholding duty, honor, and righteousness, even at great personal cost. He is the builder of bridges, literally and metaphorically. He establishes the rule of law not through fear and violence, but through compassion, integrity, and personal example. He is the ideal citizen, son, husband, king. With Rama, we see the blueprint for a stable, ethical civilization. Laws, ethics, governance, and the importance of relationships. The focus shifts from individual survival or dominance to the well-being of the collective. Rama Raja is the benchmark for a just and prosperous society. The journey of human consciousness does not end with creating a perfect, rule-based society. Krishna arrives in a world where Dharma has become rigid and is being manipulated for personal gain. The rules remain, but the spirit is lost. Krishna is more complex and playful than Rama, not the perfect king, but the divine strategist, the lover, the philosopher. He breaks rules when needed to uphold a higher, fluid justice. Context matters more than dogma. Krishna's teaching in the Bhagavad Gita is given on a battlefield, where rigid structures have broken down. He advises Arjuna on duty, on action, on the self. Life is not black and white. There are gray areas. Engage with the world, but detach from the fruits of action. This is a massive leap in psychological and spiritual evolution. The ninth avatar is often identified as Buddha, the enlightened one. The focus shifts to the inner world of the mind, desire, hatred, ignorance. He discovered the root of suffering is attachment and craving. The final frontier is our awareness. This grand story of avatars, from fish to philosopher, is not just a tale of the distant past. It is a map of the journey every single soul undertakes. We are not human beings having a spiritual experience, but spiritual beings having a human experience holds the key. The physical evolution of species and the social evolution of civilizations are the outer stage for the inner evolution of the soul. Our soul consciousness evolves through different psychological stages. Each of us is at a different point on this path, learning the lessons appropriate for our current level of awareness. The first is the infant soul. Its primary focus is survival. Much like Matsya the fish, this corresponds to infancy and early childhood. Next comes the child soul. Thrives on rules, traditions, a clear hierarchy, the stage of the dutiful citizen. Finally, we have the adult soul, which begins to question the rules. The core lesson is self-actualization. The mechanism that drives this evolution of the soul is karma. Karma is not a system of cosmic reward and punishment. It is a universal law of learning. Every action, every thought, every intention creates an effect, and that effect returns to us as an experience. Life, therefore, becomes a grand classroom. This process unfolds over many lifetimes. Rebirth is the soul returning again and again to continue its education. Liberation, or Moksha, is graduation day. This model has profound implications for those who teach, lead, or parent. Your perspective shifts from judgment to compassion. A true teacher becomes a guru, one who dispels darkness so you can find your own answers. The 10th and final avatar, Kalki, is yet to come, a symbol of our own ultimate potential. Ultimately, evolution isn't about becoming something new. It's about remembering who we truly are.